Hey, this is Crypto Big Deal in the house, checking in with my crypto family. How you doing? Okay, so we're going to be talking about some great things today. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and a little bit about Ethereum. Because if you look at Ethereum, it's 9% up 24 hours. So in the last 24 hours, it's up to 9%, and Bitcoin is up 6.8. So we're seeing a lot of green. Look at all the green on the market. Seeing a little bit of red on XRP, but we know that the XRP army are a crazy lot, and the Dogecoin, because these were part of a pump and dump scheme, not sure, because of this Wall Street bet phenomena, we were seeing lots of whale groups trying to pump different coins. Happens in the market, it's manipulation, it's technically against the law, but within this crypto world, it is still very unregulated, and it's still very much like the wild west. Woo! Wild west. So be careful, watch out for scammers. Don't do anything that you don't fully understand, and don't be sending any money to anyone over the internet if they ask you to send it. It's just too many dangers out there. Make sure that you do your research and make sure that you stay safe. It's all about being safe. Okay, now back to the news. Bitcoin up 6.96%, which is great news. We're seeing lots of other different ones here. I will show you as well quickly about an exchange that you can go if you want to find out about more tokens, because you can see there's lots up here. We've got Link, great project by the way. I have some Link. It's $24, up 17%. It's killing it right now. Dots up 18%. I have some of that as well. A great project. It's pretty much one of the ones that's going to be competing with Ethereum. But we're talking about Bitcoin today. So Bitcoin, why Bitcoin? Because we've got this guy here, Michael Saylor. Now this guy has suddenly become a bit of a crypto god in the world. Why? Because the guy is a multi-millionaire. The guy knows everything there is about tech. He works with government. He works with NASA. The guy is a rocket scientist. This is why I think he's really good friends with Elon Musk. And this is why they do tweet, and they've been bantering between the two of them about Bitcoin, which has been great for the Bitcoin community. But it's gone even further, where he has spent over 600 million in buying Bitcoin assets for his company to protect his company. Now, this guy isn't thick. This guy is highly intelligent, MIT, intellect, So when he talks about stuff, the rich listen to him. They had over 600 million in assets, in cash, in the bank, that was actually seen as a liability because of what you've got called inflation. Now, what happens is if you've got £1 million in the bank, this time next year, that £1 million will still be £1 million because banks aren't only offering zero interest. So they'll look after it, but you're not really making any money. So you start with $1 million, and within a year's time, you've still got $1 million. But inflation means things become more expensive. And the way they keep printing money has meant that a lot of people are losing faith in the dollar, in world economies. Because if the dollar crashes, and that's where you start to go into economics, and this is where I'm saying Bitcoin has been brilliant, because ka-ching, it is about learning what you have to learn, the problem they're trying to solve. If you understand the problem it's starting to solve, you realize this is something you want to hold on to. This is not something that might pump 30-40%, which is good because you're in profit, but it also means that this is literally going to be something that is here to stay and could end up replacing a lot of things like gold and other stores of assets that aren't as strong as Bitcoin. And this is what he's going to explain. He's going to explain this in his what he calls the playbook. There has been so many people apparently trying to get into this because of the rich want to get Bitcoin, but they know it's not regulated, and they need to know how safe it is to get it and how they can do it. Now, if you've got someone like Michael Saylor doing it and showing you how to do it, they're going to follow him. So he's come up with this playbook. These are the companies that are going to be involved. Binance, biggest crypto exchange in the world. They're bigger than the Deutsche Bank. They've made more profit with less people than the Deutsche Bank. Coinbase, again, they started the crypto kind of way of buying. We talked about their cards and exchange that you can use to buy Bitcoin. Very expensive, but they are heavily regulated. They are following all the rules that a bank would follow, and the guy that started them up is now going to be working for the SEC for America, which basically makes decisions on financial rules and regulations for America. So someone who's already worked with Bitcoin, it's a blockchain MIT as well. Talking about this guy here, Biden's SEC pick, Gary Gensler, on fintech regulation and blockchain. This guy's an MIT blockchain specialist. He knows everything there is that he could possibly know about Bitcoin, and knows there's lots of problems that still need to be solved in the blockchain situation. So go and look him up, but he is definitely worth checking out. Back to this, we've got Kraken. Kraken is now the first cryptocurrency exchange that has turned into a bank that is out now, a physical bank in Wyoming in America. They are doing all the regulations. They know they have to do all the regulations, whether they agree with them or not, but they're showing that crypto can be a bank. So they're going to be there. The only thing they're not allowed to do now is, because they've got the banking license, they're not allowed to do fractional banking, which is brilliant, because this is why a lot of banks are in so much trouble, is where they can lend more than they actually have on their books. So they only allowed to lend what they have, but Kraken are doing a cracking job. Hey. So then you've got Fidelity, Genesis, Grayscale. Grayscale are buying more Bitcoin than being mined. So they keep going on that process with, Michael Saylor and other companies buying Bitcoin. There just ain't going to be enough Bitcoin out there, guys. So they're just going to drive the price up. Gemini, you might have heard of Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, the Winklevoss brothers, who basically fought Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook, who came up with the idea. This is them. They've been buying up Bitcoin since 2015. They've been really into it really early on. I think they own about 1 or 2% of the Bitcoin, but they started up their own exchange. Again, worth looking into it, because they're here doing presentations for the CEOs, showing them how they can onboard and buy Bitcoin. So they're basically all trying to sell their services to the CEOs of these multi-billions. This is the playbook, and this is all the paperwork and stuff of like how to show them how to do it. We don't need to know the ins and outs and stuff like that, but what it does mean is that they're going to be wanting to get involved in this as quick as possible. We can see Bitcoin has taken a little bit of a dump as well, which is good. So, but they are not going to be buying this today or tomorrow. The conference, they're going to need these 2 days conference, because there's a lot of information they need to take in. They'll probably have advisors with them. They'll be coming back and then having to tell their company what they've learned and how they think this could benefit their company. Or they might not even be interested at all. So what does that mean? That means they need today and tomorrow to take in the information. Then they need to then be able to sit down, have a meeting with their company, because they're talking about millions of things. This is something they might not even understand at the very start. So there could be a very steep learning curve for some of these big companies, but they are trying to get involved. They might be looking at Bitcoin already. They know, the rich know Bitcoin is worth investing in, but it's about doing it the right way with regulation. Then we'll have the weekend for them to set their funds up, to get them into the right exchanges that we've seen there with Gemini, Binance, Coinbase. They will be doing their OTC, over-the-counter transactions, so they won't be hitting the exchanges. But what it does mean is, once we've got the onboard of these SECs, and we know that the Bitcoin is becoming short demand, because of there's only so much that's mined every day, and if companies are buying it more than that's being mined, mining pools are going to just start depleting in Bitcoin, where then they will have to start driving their prices up as well, even with OTC, which they always charge more anyway, because of they're saving the money from fees, but it also means it doesn't affect the price. So keep that in mind. Bitcoin is going to be, I think it's going to really pump in the next couple of weeks, if not next week. Not financial advice, but I do recommend that you try to dollar cost average as much as possible. You can see here that Bitcoin is taking a bit of a drop. It was at 7% when we first started this video, now dropped, and so is the other ones. But remember, we've got other tokens as well that we can go into. Drop a comment in the message box below if you want me to discuss anything. I will go into anything you want, because it's all about learning what you guys find entertaining. Also, Big shout out to my friend Tom, who's been doing some editing for me. So hopefully this is going to look a lot more professional than it was before. Big shout out to you, Tom. Maybe put a picture somewhere there. I don't know how this works again, but yeah, I'm sure you'll make me look good. All the best, guys. This is Crypto Big Deal checking out.